Hey racing fans! So, last weekend my buddy challenged me to find the absolute best open world racing games on PS5. And honestly, I got completely obsessed. I spent the entire weekend testing every single game I could get my hands on, and what I discovered blew my mind. From the stunning landscapes of Mexico to the chaotic streets of Paradise City, I've narrowed down the top 20 games that will completely transform your racing experience. Trust me, by the end of this video, your wishlist is going to be absolutely packed. Let's dive in. Alright, let's kick things off with the absolute king of open world racing, Forza Horizon 5. And wow, where do I even begin with this masterpiece? Picture this. You're cruising through the stunning landscapes of Mexico, and I'm not talking about some generic racing track. I'm talking about actual real-world locations that look so gorgeous, you'll forget you're playing a game. What absolutely blew me away about Horizon 5 is how alive the world feels. You've got seasonal weather changes that completely transform the driving experience. One moment you're drifting through a desert storm, the next you're racing through a tropical rainforest with raindrops hitting your windshield so realistically, it's insane. The attention to detail here is just chef's kiss. But here's what makes this game truly special. It's not just about racing. You can literally spend hours just exploring, hunting for barn finds, or participating in these crazy festival events scattered across the map. I remember spending an entire evening trying to hit every speed camera and stunt jump I could find. It's that addictive. The car collection? Absolutely massive. We're talking over 500 cars, from classic muscle cars to modern supercars. And the customization options are endless. You can tune everything from your gear ratios to your tire pressure, or just slap on some cool livery and hit the road. The choice is yours. Now, if Forza Horizon 5 is the king, then the Crew Motorfest is definitely the wild card that surprised everyone. Set in this gorgeous recreation of Hawaii, Motorfest takes everything we loved about the previous Crew games and cranks it up to 11. What makes Motorfest so unique is its playlist system. Instead of just randomly racing around, you get these themed playlists that tell actual stories. Want to experience the golden age of Japanese street racing? There's a playlist for that. Curious about American muscle car culture? Yep, they've got you covered. It's like having multiple racing games packed into one. The Hawaii setting is absolutely breathtaking. You've got volcanic landscapes, tropical beaches, dense forests, and urban areas all seamlessly connected. I spent way too much time just cruising around taking screenshots because every corner of this world looks like a postcard. But here's what really sets it apart. The variety of vehicles is insane. Cars, boats, planes, motorcycles, you name it. One minute you're street racing through Honolulu, the next you're piloting a speedboat through crystal clear waters, and then boom, you're aerial racing in a vintage biplane. It's this constant variety that keeps you hooked. The handling feels great too, striking that perfect balance between arcade fun and realistic physics. Whether you're a casual player or a hardcore racing fan, Motorfest delivers an experience that just feels right. Need for Speed Unbound came in swinging with a style that's completely unlike anything we've seen before. The first time you see those anime-inspired visual effects pop up during races, you know you're in for something special. It's bold, it's flashy, and honestly, it's exactly what the NFS franchise needed. Set in the fictional city of Lakeshore, Unbound brings back that underground street racing vibe that made the older NFS games so legendary. The story revolves around proving yourself in the street racing scene. And let me tell you, the progression system is addictive. You start with modest rides and gradually work your way up to absolute beasts. What I love about Unbound is how it makes every race feel cinematic. Those visual effects aren't just for show, they react to your driving style. Pull off sick drifts and you'll see these gorgeous particle effects trailing behind your car. Hit a jump and watch those comic book style impact effects explode on screen. It's like playing inside a living graphic novel. The heat system adds this constant tension that keeps your heart racing. Push your luck too far with the cops and you'll find yourself in these intense pursuit sequences that rival any action movie. The key is knowing when to risk it all and when to play it safe, and that risk-reward balance is absolutely perfect. Plus, the soundtrack is fire. The mix of hip-hop, electronic, and rock creates this perfect atmosphere for underground street racing. Every race feels like you're starring in your own Fast and Furious movie. Test Drive Unlimited. Solar Crown is the comeback we've all been waiting for. After years of silence, the TDU franchise returns with this ambitious take on Hong Kong Island. And man, does it deliver on that classic TDU formula we fell in love with. What made the original Test Drive Unlimited special was this concept of living the lifestyle, not just racing cars. Solar Crown brings that back in a big way. You're not just competing in races, you're building a reputation, collecting cars, customizing everything, and truly living the high-end racing lifestyle. It's like playing a racing-focused life simulator. The Hong Kong setting is absolutely stunning. The developers have recreated the island with incredible attention to detail, from the bustling city streets to the winding mountain roads. The contrast between the ultra-modern skyscrapers and the scenic coastal highways creates this perfect playground for any type of driving you're in the mood for. But here's where Solar Crown really shines: the online integration. This isn't just single player with online bolted on. The world feels genuinely alive with other players cruising around, organizing impromptu races, showing off their rides, or just hanging out in the various social spaces. It recaptures that MMO feel that made the original so addictive. The car collection system is deep too. Each vehicle feels unique and purposeful, and the progression system encourages you to actually drive and enjoy your cars rather than just collecting them like trophies. It's that perfect blend of accessibility and depth that keeps you coming back. Need for Speed. Heat absolutely nailed the day-night cycle concept, and it's honestly one of the most innovative mechanics I've seen in racing games. During the day, you're participating in legal street races, earning cash, and keeping a low profile. But when the sun goes down, that's when the real action begins. The night races are where heat truly comes alive. These illegal street races offer massive reputation gains, but here's the catch. The more rep you earn, the more heat you build up with the cops. And these aren't your typical gaming cops. These officers are relentless, aggressive, and they will stop at nothing to take you down. The tension of trying to earn just one more rep level while avoiding a brutal takedown is absolutely incredible. Set in Palm City, which is clearly inspired by Miami, the game absolutely nails that neon-soaked Vice City aesthetic. The visual design during night races is breathtaking. Neon lights reflecting off wet streets, the glow of street lamps creating this moody atmosphere, and those intense police chase sequences that feel straight out of an action movie. The customization options are insane. You can modify everything from your car's performance to its visual appearance. Want to build a drift monster? Go for it. Prefer a straight line speed demon? The tools are there. The wrap editor alone will consume hours of your time. I've seen some absolutely incredible community creations. What really makes Heat special is how it balances risk and reward perfectly. Every decision matters. Every race could be your last, and that constant tension keeps your adrenaline pumping from start to finish. Oh man, Burnout Paradise Remastered. Now this is a game that just gets it. If you've never experienced the pure chaos and adrenaline rush of Paradise City, you're in for an absolute treat. This isn't your typical racing game where you follow a set path and hope for the best. No, Paradise throws you into this massive open world and basically says, go nuts. What makes Paradise so addictive is the seamless integration of everything. You're cruising down the street, minding your own business, when suddenly another player challenges you to a race. No loading screens, no menus, just pure instant action. Before you know it, you're weaving through traffic at 200 miles per hour, trying to find the fastest route to your destination while your opponent takes a completely different path. The takedown mechanics are absolutely brutal in the best way possible. There's nothing quite like the satisfaction of slamming an opponent into a concrete barrier and watching their car explode in slow motion. The crash physics are so satisfying that sometimes I find myself deliberately crashing just to see those beautiful destruction sequences. Paradise City itself is this perfect playground of destruction. Every intersection, every shortcut, every jump ramp feels purposefully designed for maximum chaos. I've put hundreds of hours into this game, and I'm still discovering new routes and secret areas. The exploration element is just as compelling as the racing itself. And can we talk about the music? The soundtrack perfectly captures that feeling of reckless abandon. Whether you're in an intense race or just cruising around looking for collectibles, the music keeps that energy level at 11. It's the kind of game where you'll accidentally play for 4 hours straight because time just disappears. Riders Republic is pure insanity in the most beautiful way possible. Imagine taking the entire western United States. We're talking Yosemite, Zion, Bryce Canyon, all these iconic locations, and turning them into the ultimate extreme sports playground. That's exactly what Ubisoft did here, and the result is absolutely mind-blowing. What sets Riders Republic apart is the sheer variety of activities. One minute you're bombing down a mountain on your mountain bike, carving through tight forest trails, and the next you're strapping on a wingsuit and soaring through canyons at breakneck speeds. Then you hop on skis for some downhill action or grab your snowboard for some sick tricks in the terrain park. The transitions between different sports feel so natural and fluid. But here's where it gets really crazy: the mass races. Picture this: 64 players all starting at the same point. But here's the twist: you'll switch between different vehicles and sports throughout the race. You might start on a bike, transition to wingsuit flying, then finish on skis. It's absolute chaos, and I love every second of it. The world is just breathtaking. These aren't just generic mountain environments. These are faithful recreations of America's most beautiful national parks. When you're wingsuit flying through the narrow canyons of Zion or bombing down the slopes of Mammoth Mountain, the attention to detail is incredible. You can almost feel the wind rushing past you. The progression system is really well designed too. You're constantly unlocking new gear, new events, and new areas to explore. And the social aspect is fantastic. You can squad up with friends and tackle challenges together, or just cruise around this massive world discovering hidden spots and photo opportunities. Gran Turismo 7 is like the sophisticated older sibling in the racing game family. While other games are all about arcade thrills and spectacular crashes, GT7 is about pure driving perfection. And honestly, if you appreciate cars, and I mean really appreciate the engineering, the history, the craftsmanship, this game is going to blow your mind. The car collection aspect is absolutely phenomenal. We're not just talking about having hundreds of cars. We're talking about each vehicle being lovingly recreated down to the smallest detail. You can spend hours just walking around these cars in the showroom, examining every curve, every interior detail. The museum feature actually teaches you about automotive history, and before you know it, you're learning about legendary designers and iconic racing moments. But here's where GT7 really shines: the driving physics. Every car feels completely unique. A 1960s muscle car handles nothing like a modern Formula One car, which handles nothing like a rally car. The level of authenticity is incredible. You'll actually need to learn how to drive each type of vehicle properly, which makes mastering the game incredibly rewarding. The track selection is world-class. From the legendary Nürburgring to original GT circuits, every track is meticulously crafted. The dynamic weather and time of day changes add this extra layer of challenge and beauty. Racing at sunrise on the Nordschleife while fog rolls across the track is genuinely breathtaking. The sport mode brings competitive online racing to a whole new level. The driver rating system ensures you're matched with players of similar skill, and the focus on clean and respectful racing creates this amazing community of motorsport enthusiasts. The crew took everything that made the original special and just went completely over the top with it. The entire United States is your playground, and when I say entire, I mean it. You can literally drive from New York to Los Angeles, and every mile of that journey is filled with things to discover. What makes the Crew 2 absolutely unique is the instant vehicle transformation. One second you're street racing through downtown Chicago, then you hit a button and boom, your car transforms into a speedboat and you're racing down the Chicago River. Hit another button and suddenly you're in a plane soaring above the sky. It sounds gimmicky, but it's executed so smoothly that it becomes this incredible gameplay feature. The variety of racing disciplines is insane. Street racing, off-road, touring cars, drag racing, powerboat racing, aerobatic flying, monster trucks. There's literally something for every type of racing fan, and each discipline feels completely different. The monster truck events are these crazy spectacles with massive jumps and destructible environments, while the touring car races focus on precise cornering and overtaking techniques. The photo mode deserves special mention because holy cow, this game is gorgeous. The lighting engine creates these stunning sunset drives across the desert, or moody night races through neon-lit city streets. I've probably spent as much time taking screenshots as I have actually racing. The progression system keeps you constantly engaged too. There's always a new event to try, a new vehicle to unlock, or a new area of the map to explore. And the live events add this dynamic element where special challenges pop up regularly, keeping the world feeling fresh and exciting. Dirt 5 brings the party to off-road racing in a way that's just infectious. From the moment you fired it up, you can tell this game is all about having a good time. The vibrant, colorful art style immediately sets it apart from other racing games, and the upbeat energy never lets up. What I absolutely love about Dirt 5 is how it makes off-road racing accessible without dumbing it down. The handling strikes this perfect balance where casual players can jump in and have fun immediately, but there's still plenty of depth for serious racers to master. Whether you're power sliding through mud in a rally car or flying over massive jumps in a trophy truck, everything feels responsive and exciting. The track design is phenomenal. These aren't just generic dirt tracks. You're racing through locations like frozen East River in New York, the streets of Morocco, or these stunning Norwegian landscapes. Each environment has its own personality and challenges. The dynamic weather system means that conditions can change mid-race, turning a dry track into a muddy slip and slide that completely changes your racing line. The career mode is actually engaging, with this podcast-style presentation that features real personalities from the motorsport world. It creates this authentic atmosphere that makes you feel like you're really part of the off-road racing scene. The voice acting and presentation are top-notch. But here's what really makes Dirt 5 special: the split-screen multiplayer. In an era where local multiplayer is becoming rare, Dirt 5 delivers fantastic couch co-op racing that's perfect for parties or just hanging out with friends. The tracks are designed with multiple racing lines, so there's always room for exciting battles and dramatic overtakes. F1 2021 is where Formula One racing meets storytelling, and the result is absolutely spectacular. This isn't just about driving the fastest cars in the world, though trust me, that part is incredible. It's about living the complete Formula One experience from a driver's perspective. The Breaking Point story mode is genuinely compelling. You're following the journey of Aiden Jackson, this up-and-coming driver trying to make it in the cutthroat world of Formula One. The drama, the politics, the rivalries, it all feels authentic to what we see in real F1. I found myself actually caring about the characters and their relationships, which is something I never expected from a racing game. But let's talk about the driving itself, because wow, these cars are beasts. The handling model perfectly captures how different F1 cars are from anything else on four wheels. The acceleration is mind-bending, the braking forces are insane, and the cornering speeds feel genuinely dangerous. When you nail a perfect lap around Monaco or Silverstone, the satisfaction is unmatched. The career mode progression is incredibly detailed. You're not just racing, you're dealing with practice sessions, qualifying, race strategy, tire management, fuel loads, and even the political aspects of working with your team. The research and development system lets you actually influence your car's performance throughout the season, making every championship fight feel personal. My driver mode adds this fantastic layer where you can create custom seasons with classic cars and drivers. Want to see how Ayrton Senna would fare against Lewis Hamilton at Modern Spa? You can make that happen. The attention to historical detail in the classic content is absolutely phenomenal. Wreckfest is pure, unadulterated automotive mayhem, and I mean that in the best possible way. This is demolition derby racing at its absolute finest, where causing spectacular crashes isn't just encouraged, it's essential for victory. What makes Wreckfest so special is how it balances realistic physics with over-the-top action. Every collision feels weighty and impactful. When you slam into an opponent's door at full speed, you can see the metal crumple, the glass shatter, and the suspension components get damaged. The damage modeling is so detailed that your car's handling actually changes as it gets more beaten up throughout the race. The variety of events keeps things constantly fresh. One race, you're in a traditional stock car oval race trying to maintain speed while avoiding the chaos. The next event is a school bus demolition derby, where the goal is literally to be the last vehicle moving. Then you jump into a combine harvester race across a muddy field. The creativity in event design is just incredible. The track selection perfectly matches the game's personality. You've got everything from proper racing circuits to county fair demolition arenas, dirt ovals, and even these crazy figure-8 tracks where head-on collisions are inevitable. Each venue has its own character and challenges. But here's what really makes Wreckfest addictive. The AI is aggressive and unpredictable. These aren't polite racing drivers who stick to the racing line. They'll punt you off the track, block aggressively, and retaliate if you mess with them. Every race feels like a barely controlled riot, and that unpredictability keeps you on the edge of your seat. Project Cars 3 took the series in a completely different direction, and honestly, it's way more fun than I expected. While the previous games were all about hardcore simulation, Cars 3 embraces the joy of driving with a more accessible approach that doesn't sacrifice the core excitement. What I love about this approach is how it opens up the world of motorsport to everyone. The career mode takes you on this incredible journey through different racing disciplines. You start with road cars and amateur events, then gradually work your way up through touring cars, GT racing, open wheel formulas, and eventually to the pinnacle of motorsport. Each step feels like a genuine progression. The handling strikes this perfect sweet spot between arcade and simulation. Cars feel weighty and authentic, but they're not punishing if you make a mistake. You can actually have close, exciting battles without needing years of practice to be competitive. The assists are intelligent too. They help when you need them but stay out of the way when you don't. The upgrade and customization system adds this RPG-like progression, that's incredibly addictive. You earn experience points for clean driving, overtaking, and winning races, then use those points to upgrade your cars. It creates this constant sense of improvement and gives every race meaningful rewards. The track roster is absolutely world-class. From iconic circuits like Brands Hatch and Road America to stunning original creations, every track is beautifully detailed and fun to drive. The dynamic weather and time progression create these dramatic moments where a sunny race suddenly becomes a wet weather battle. Hot Wheels Unleashed is pure childhood nostalgia cranked up to 11, and it's absolutely glorious. This isn't just a game with Hot Wheels branding slapped on. This is a genuine love letter to those iconic orange tracks and die-cast cars we all grew up with. The track design is where this game truly shines. These aren't traditional racing circuits. They're these incredible loop-to-loop, boost-filled roller coasters that defy physics in the most wonderful way. Racing through a kitchen table setup, launching off ramps that send you flying across the room, hitting boost pads that propel you through insane corkscrews. It's everything you imagined as a kid playing with Hot Wheels. What's incredible is how authentic everything feels to the real toys. The cars handle with just the right amount of weight and momentum. They're not just arcade racers. They feel like actual die-cast cars with their own physics. When you hit a boost pad, you get that satisfying sense of speed and momentum that perfectly captures the Hot Wheels experience. The car collection is a Hot Wheels fan's dream come true. Classic red lines, modern treasure hunts, exclusive designs. There are over 60 vehicles to collect, and each one is meticulously detailed. The way the light reflects off the metallic paint and the tiny details in the interior work is just phenomenal. But here's the real game changer, the track editor. You can build your own Hot Wheels tracks using all the classic pieces we remember. Loop-de-loops, boost sections, jumps, splits. Everything is there. The community has created some absolutely incredible tracks that would be impossible in real life, but make perfect sense in the Hot Wheels universe. CarX Drift Racing Online is the definitive drifting experience, and if you're into sideways action, this game will consume your life. This isn't just about going fast, it's about maintaining control while your car is completely out of control, and the feeling when you nail a perfect drift is absolutely addictive. The physics engine is what sets CarX apart from every other drifting game. The way cars behave feels incredibly authentic to real drift physics. You can feel the weight transfer as you initiate a drift, the tires fighting for grip, the throttle control needed to maintain the perfect slide. It's not just about turning the wheel and hoping for the best. You need to understand car dynamics to really excel. The customization options are incredibly deep. You can tune everything from suspension geometry to differential settings, and these changes actually make meaningful differences to how your car behaves. Want a car that initiates drifts easily? Adjust your alignment and spring rates. Need more stability in long sweeping drifts? Play with your differential settings. The level of control is impressive. The online multiplayer creates this fantastic community of drift enthusiasts. You'll find yourself in tandem battles, where you're following another driver inches from their bumper through complex drift sections. The skill required to maintain close proximity while both cars are sliding is incredible. And when you nail a perfect tandem run, it's pure magic. The variety of cars and tracks keeps things fresh. From Japanese drift missiles to European sports cars to American muscle, each vehicle has its own personality. The tracks range from technical mountain passes to wide-open industrial complexes, each requiring different techniques and approaches to master. TT Isle of Man Ride on the Edge 3 is absolutely terrifying in the most exhilarating way possible. If you've ever wondered what it's like to race motorcycles at 200+ miles per hour through narrow village streets with stone walls inches from your elbows, this game will give you a taste of that insanity. And honestly, it's addictive as hell. The Isle of Man T is legendary for being the most dangerous race in motorsport, and this game captures that intensity perfectly. You're not racing on a safe, controlled circuit. You're bombing through actual villages, past people's front doors, over blind crests at speeds that would make most people lose their minds. The Snaefell Mountain Course is recreated with incredible accuracy, all 37.73 miles of it, and every corner, every bump, every landmark is exactly where it should be. What makes this so compelling is the pure skill requirement. There are no assists here, no forgiving physics, just you, the bike, and 200 miles per hour of pure adrenaline. Learning the track is a massive undertaking because unlike a traditional circuit, there are literally hundreds of corners to memorize. Miss your braking point at Balloch Bridge and you're flying through someone's garden at terminal velocity. The bike handling is phenomenal. Each motorcycle feels completely different. The way a superbike behaves versus a classic racing bike versus a modern MotoGP machine. The physics capture that unique feeling of motorcycle racing where you're constantly balancing on the edge of disaster. One small mistake and you're sliding down the road at 150 miles per hour. The career mode progression is really well done too. You start with smaller races races and gradually work your way up to the main TT events. The pressure builds as you approach race day, and when you finally complete your first lap of the full course without crashing, the sense of achievement is incredible. LEGO 2K Drive is pure joy in digital form, and I'm not even kidding. This game takes the creativity and imagination of LEGO and combines it with genuinely excellent racing mechanics to create something that's fun for literally everyone. Whether you're 8 or 80, this game will put a smile on your face. What immediately grabbed me is the seamless vehicle transformation system. You're racing through a forest in your custom-built race car, then you hit a river and boom, your vehicle instantly transforms into a speedboat. Drive up a mountain and it becomes an off-road buggy. Hit a cliff edge and suddenly you're flying a plane. It's not just a gimmick, it's integrated so smoothly into the gameplay that it feels completely natural. The world design is absolutely brilliant. This isn't just a racing game set in a LEGO universe. It's like someone took every LEGO set you ever owned and connected them into one massive playground. You've got pirate ships, space stations, medieval castles, modern cities, all seamlessly blended together in a way that only makes sense in the LEGO universe. But here's where it gets really special. The vehicle customization is incredible. The brick-by-brick building system lets you create literally anything you can imagine. Want a car that looks like a dragon? Go for it. How about a boat shaped like a pizza slice? Absolutely possible. The community creations are absolutely mind-blowing. People are building things I never would have thought possible. The racing itself is fantastic too. It's accessible enough that kids can jump in and have fun immediately, but there's real depth here. The AI is competitive, the track design is creative, and the physics feel just right. Plus, the cooperative gameplay means parents can race alongside their kids, making it perfect for family gaming sessions. Horizon Chase 2 is like a beautiful love letter to the golden age of arcade racing, and man, does it nail that nostalgic feeling perfectly. If you ever spent quarters on games like Outrun or Pole Position, this game will transport you right back to those magical arcade moments. The visual style is absolutely stunning. It captures that retro aesthetic without feeling dated. Vibrant colors, beautiful sunsets, iconic landmarks from around the world, all rendered in this gorgeous low-poly style that's both modern and timeless. Racing through the streets of Tokyo at sunset or across the Australian outback during a thunderstorm is genuinely breathtaking. What makes Horizon Chase 2 so addictive is how pure the racing feels. There are no complicated tuning menus, no overwhelming upgrade trees, just you, your car, and the open road. The handling is perfectly balanced between accessible and challenging. Anyone can pick up and play, but mastering the perfect racing line and managing your fuel and nitro adds layers of depth. The World Tour mode takes you on this incredible journey across 6 continents, each with its own personality and challenges. The variety is fantastic. One race you're navigating through narrow European mountain passes. The next you're bombing across wide-open American highways. Each location feels authentic and captures the spirit of that region perfectly. The soundtrack deserves special mention because it's absolutely phenomenal. The electronic music perfectly captures that 80s arcade vibe while feeling completely modern. Every track gets your adrenaline pumping and matches the high-speed action perfectly. I find myself humming these tunes long after I've stopped playing. EA Sports. WRC is the rally racing experience we've been waiting for, and honestly, it's everything I hoped it would be. This isn't just about going fast. Rally racing is about precision, bravery, and split-second decision-making. And this game captures all of that perfectly. The handling model is absolutely brilliant. Every car feels completely different, from classic Group B monsters to modern World Rally cars. You can feel the weight transfer as you throw the car into a corner, the way different surfaces affect grip, the delicate balance between speed and control. When you nail a perfect Scandinavian flick through a tight hairpin, the satisfaction is incredible. What sets WRC apart is the stage design. These aren't just pretty roads to drive on. They're authentic recreations of real rally stages from around the world. The attention to detail is incredible. Every rock, every tree, every bump in the road affects how you approach each corner. Learning the stages becomes this deep, rewarding process where you gradually shave seconds off your times as you find the optimal racing line. The co-driver system adds this fantastic layer of authenticity. The pace notes are not just window dressing, they're essential for survival. When your co-driver calls out medium leftover crest into tight right, you better listen because what's waiting on the other side of that hill could end your stage instantly. The trust you develop with these calls becomes a crucial part of the experience. The career mode progression is really well structured too. You start with smaller rallies and older cars and gradually work your way up through the ranks. The team management aspects add depth. You're not just driving, you're making decisions about car setup, tire choice, and risk management that affect your championship chances. Readout 2 is pure speed incarnate, and I'm talking about speeds that will literally make your head spin. This isn't your typical racing game. This is anti-gravity racing at velocities that would make Formula One cars look like they're standing still. And the rush you get from mastering these insane speeds is absolutely incredible. The first time you hit maximum speed in Redout 2, it's genuinely overwhelming. We're talking about 800 plus miles per hour speeds, where the track becomes this blur of neon lights and geometric shapes flying past your peripheral vision. The sense of velocity is so intense that you'll actually feel your heart rate spike. It's like being shot out of a cannon while trying to navigate through a laser light show. What makes this work is the incredible track design. These aren't just loops and turns, they're these mind-bending works of art that twist through space in ways that shouldn't be possible. You're racing on the inside of cylinders, corkscrewing through impossible geometries, hitting boost pads that launch you across massive gaps. The creativity and level design is absolutely stunning. The ship handling is where the depth really shows. Each racing craft has different characteristics. Some are agile but fragile. Others are tanks that can absorb punishment but turn like freight trains. Learning to use the air brakes effectively becomes crucial because at these speeds, traditional steering isn't enough. You need to master the art of controlled sliding and momentum management. The upgrade system adds this fantastic progression element. You're constantly improving your ship's speed, handling, and defensive capabilities. The feeling of gradually getting faster and more competitive keeps you coming back for just one more race until suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're still chasing that perfect lap time. Wow, what a journey! Making this list honestly reminded me why I fell in love with racing games in the first place. There's just something magical about exploring these massive worlds at breakneck speeds. Now I'm genuinely curious, are you team arcade fun or simulation realism? Let me know in the comments because I'm thinking about doing a deep dive comparing the most realistic versus the most ridiculous games on this list. If this video saved you some time researching your next purchase, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe because I've got tons more PS5 content coming your way. Thanks for riding along with me today, and remember, life's too short for boring games.